There are moments when anxiety doesn't arrive loudly. It slips in quietly. While you are washing dishes. While you are lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. While your body is tired, but your mind refuses to rest. And at some point, you may have wondered, silently, why does my heart feel rushed when nothing is actually happening? In Japanese wisdom, anxiety is not seen as a flaw in who you are. It is not a weakness. It is not a personal failure. Anxiety is understood as a loss of rhythm. A life moving faster than the soul can follow. For many women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, anxiety does not come from chaos outside. It comes from years of responsibility. From holding families together. From being strong for too long. From adapting again and again, without pause. The Japanese never ask, "What is wrong with you?" They ask, "Where did the rhythm break?" And this is where healing begins. In Japan, there is a concept called ma. Ma means the space between things. The pause between a breath in and a breath out. The silence between notes in music. The stillness that gives meaning to movement. Anxiety grows when life has no ma. When everything feels urgent. When every message demands a response. When every thought feels important. Without space, the nervous system believes danger is constant. Ma teaches something simple, yet deeply powerful. Before reacting, pause. Before answering, breathe. Before deciding, wait one heartbeat longer. This small space sends a message to your body, "I am safe." And when the body feels safe, anxiety begins to soften. You do not need to solve your life. You only need to slow the moment. Many women believe they must control their thoughts to control anxiety. Japanese wisdom offers a different path. In Zen practice, there is zazen. Zazen is seated meditation, but it is not about emptying the mind. You are not asked to calm yourself. You are not asked to fix anything. You simply sit. You breathe. You observe. Thoughts come, and you do not follow them. Sensations rise, and you do not resist them. Anxiety appears, and you do not run away. You learn something radical: I can feel anxiety without becoming it. When anxiety is no longer fought, it loses its fuel. It feeds on resistance. It grows stronger when judged. It tightens when you tell yourself, "I shouldn't feel this way." Zazen teaches the nervous system that feelings can move through you without harming you. And when anxiety is allowed to pass, it often does. If this perspective resonates with you, take a moment and share in the comments. What usually triggers your anxiety during the day? Naming it can be the first gentle release. Another Japanese teaching brings immediate relief to anxious minds. Shikata jie nai. It means, there is nothing to be done. This is not giving up. It is emotional wisdom. Anxiety thrives when we try to control what cannot be controlled. Other people's choices. The passage of time. The past. The future. Shikata jie nai teaches emotional economy. It asks one quiet question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, the body is invited to release the struggle. Many women carry invisible weight because they believe everything is their responsibility. Everyone's emotions. Everyone's happiness. Everyone's outcomes. But when you gently say, "This is not mine to carry," the shoulders drop. The jaw softens. The breath deepens. Anxiety often dissolves not through effort, but through permission. There is another Japanese teaching that brings anxious minds back home. Ichigo ichie. It means, this moment happens only once. Anxiety lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. Peace lives here. When you honor this moment as unique, you stop rehearsing disaster. You stop reliving old pain. You begin to inhabit your life again. This cup of tea. This breath. This quiet minute. The present moment does not demand perfection. It only asks for presence. And presence is something anxiety cannot survive for long. Halfway through this journey, if you feel comforted here, feel welcome to subscribe to the channel. You are always welcome in this circle of calm and wisdom. Many women carry anxiety because they believe they must be flawless to be safe. This belief is gently undone by wabi sabi. Wabi sabi teaches that imperfection is not a problem. It is truth. Nothing is complete. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is flawless. And that is exactly what makes life beautiful. Anxiety often comes from trying to freeze life. To predict every outcome. To avoid every mistake. But life moves. Bodies age. Emotions change. When you stop fighting this reality, the mind rests. You do not need to be better to be at peace. You only need to stop resisting what already is. Japanese culture also understands something the modern world forgets: healing does not happen only in the mind. The center of calm is not the head. It is the hara, the lower abdomen. When you breathe deeply into the belly, the body receives a signal of safety. The heart rate slows. The nervous system shifts. This is why Japanese practices focus on posture, breath, and grounding. An anxious mind often lives too high in the body. Returning to the hara is returning home. Anxiety softens when you feel supported by your own breath. All of these teachings point to one truth: you do not need to conquer anxiety. You need to change your relationship with time, attention, and presence. Anxiety fades when life slows inside. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are responding to a rhythm that has been too fast for too long. And this is only the beginning of understanding how Japanese wisdom gently restores inner calm for women who have carried so much. Anxiety often convinces a woman that something terrible is about to happen. But Japanese wisdom asks a different question: what if nothing is wrong, except the way you are relating to this moment? As women move through their 40s, 50s, and 60s, anxiety changes its voice. It may no longer feel like panic. It feels like constant alertness. Like a quiet tension in the chest. Like a mind that never fully rests. This kind of anxiety comes from living too long in anticipation. Anticipating needs. Anticipating problems. Anticipating other people's reactions. Japanese teachings gently guide a woman back to herself. One of the most misunderstood ideas about anxiety is the belief that it must be eliminated. In Japan, anxiety is approached differently. It is not treated as an enemy. It is treated as information. When anxiety appears, it is saying, something needs attention. Not urgency. Attention. This is why observation is so powerful. In zazen, the practice of observing without interference, a woman learns to sit with sensations. The tightness in the chest. The flutter in the stomach. The restlessness in the legs. Nothing is forced away. Nothing is corrected. And slowly, something unexpected happens. The body realizes it does not need to escalate. Because no one is attacking it from the inside. Anxiety often grows because it feels threatened by resistance. When you stop pushing it away, it no longer needs to shout. Many women were never taught how to sit with discomfort. They were taught to fix it. Ignore it. Push through it. Japanese wisdom restores a forgotten skill: staying. Staying with the breath. Staying with sensation. Staying present. And presence changes everything. Another reason anxiety persists is the illusion of control. Modern life subtly teaches women that if they think enough, plan enough, worry enough, they can prevent pain. But worry does not protect. It exhausts. Shikata ga nai returns power to where it belongs. When a woman separates what she can influence from what she cannot, her nervous system relaxes. Because it no longer feels responsible for the universe. You can choose your response. You cannot choose outcomes. You can offer love. You cannot control how it is received. You can prepare. You cannot predict everything. Accepting this is not weakness. It is maturity. There is a quiet dignity in saying, I have done what I can. And letting the rest go. Anxiety softens when responsibility returns to its proper size. Another powerful Japanese teaching gently dissolves anxious thinking, ichigo ichie. This moment will never return. Anxiety asks, what if? Presence asks, what is? When a woman gives her full attention to what is happening now, anxiety loses its stage. Because anxiety needs future scenarios to survive. The warmth of the cup in your hands. The sound of your breath. The feeling of your feet on the floor. These are anchors. Japanese culture has always honored rituals because rituals bring the mind back to the body. Back to the senses. Back to safety. Even a small ritual can calm anxiety. Making tea slowly. Opening a window and breathing deeply. Pausing before speaking. These moments create space. And space is where calm lives. If you notice a sense of relief as you listen, I invite you to reflect for a moment, which small ritual could bring more calm into your day. You are welcome to share it in the comments. Many anxious thoughts come from perfectionism. From believing that mistakes are dangerous. That flaws are unacceptable. Wabi sabi gently frees a woman from this prison. Nothing in nature is perfect. And yet, nothing is wrong. Cracks are where light enters. Aging is not decay. It is texture. When a woman stops demanding perfection from herself, anxiety loosens its grip. Because the fear of not being enough begins to fade. You do not need to arrive anywhere to deserve peace. You already belong here. Japanese wisdom does not rush healing. It trusts timing. This is especially important for women who have lived in service to others. Who learn to suppress their needs. Who learn to stay strong. Strength, in this tradition, is not tension. It is softness with stability. Another essential teaching involves returning to the body. Anxiety often lives in the head. Thoughts looping endlessly. The Japanese return awareness to the hara. The center of gravity. The seat of calm. Breathing into the abdomen tells the body, you are supported. Long exhales. Relaxed shoulders. A grounded posture. These signals shift the nervous system out of survival mode. You do not need complicated techniques. You need consistency. Even a few conscious breaths can interrupt anxiety's momentum. Japanese practices are simple because they are meant to be lived, not performed. Anxiety does not disappear overnight. But it changes. It becomes less loud. Less convincing. Less controlling. And eventually, it becomes a messenger you understand. A sign to slow down. To return to yourself. To create space. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where your life has brought you. And from here, a different rhythm is possible. A gentler rhythm. A truer one. This wisdom has supported women for centuries. And it is available to you now. There comes a moment when a woman realizes that anxiety is not asking to be eliminated. It is asking to be understood. For many years, you may have believed that calm was something you had to earn. After finishing everything. After fixing everyone. After becoming someone better. Japanese wisdom gently reveals a different truth. Calm is your natural state when you stop fighting yourself. Anxiety often stays because it believes you are not listening. It tightens when ignored. It softens when met with awareness. This is why the Japanese path does not force calm. It invites harmony. Harmony is not the absence of emotion. It is the ability to move with life instead of against it. One of the deepest lessons in Japanese culture is rhythm. Everything has a season. A pace. A time to act and a time to rest. Anxiety appears when life loses this balance. Many women have lived for decades responding instead of choosing, reacting instead of resting, giving instead of receiving. Your nervous system learned urgency because urgency was required. But what once protected you may now be exhausting you. Japanese wisdom does not blame you for this. It honors your resilience. And then it offers a softer way forward. When you begin to live with Ma, space returns. Not empty space. Sacred space. Space to breathe before answering. Space to feel before judging. Space to rest without guilt. In this space, anxiety has nothing to push against. When you practice observation, as in zazen, you stop making anxiety personal. It becomes a passing state, not an identity. I am feeling anxious replaces I am anxious. This small shift restores power. When you live with Shikata Ga Nai, your energy stops leaking. You no longer argue with reality. You stop replaying conversations that are over. You stop rehearsing futures that may never arrive. Acceptance does not weaken you. It frees you. Ichigo Ichie teaches you to return again and again to now. To this breath. This body. This moment. Anxiety cannot survive where presence lives. Wabi sabi releases you from the illusion that perfection is safety. You begin to see beauty in what is unfinished. In aging hands. In a life that carries marks of love and loss. Nothing needs to be fixed for peace to exist. And when you return to the hara, to the body, you remember something ancient. You are supported by your own breath. By gravity. By the earth beneath you. Calm is not created in the mind. It is remembered in the body. Over time, anxiety begins to change its role. It no longer dominates. It informs. You notice when life speeds up too much. When your boundaries thin. When you forget yourself. Anxiety becomes a signal to slow down. To return to rhythm. To create space. This is the quiet transformation Japanese wisdom offers women. Not a dramatic breakthrough. But a deep settling. A feeling of coming home to yourself after a long journey. If you have spent years being strong, this path does not ask you to become softer for others. It invites you to become gentler with yourself. You do not need to control your thoughts. You do not need to chase calm. You do not need to force peace. You only need to stop abandoning yourself in the rush of life. And when you do, something shifts. Your breath deepens without effort. Your body relaxes without command. Your mind grows quieter, not because it is silenced, but because it feels safe. This is the gift of Japanese wisdom. It does not promise a life without challenges. It offers a way to meet life without losing yourself. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are a woman who has lived. And because you have lived, you are capable of a calm that is deep, grounded, and real. Anxiety does not define you. It never did. Your presence does. And if this journey touched something within you, subscribe and join this circle of feminine wisdom.